Good morning. My name is Georgie. I'm one of the domestic violence advocates here at the Avalon Center. And so today I thought that I would just do a general overview of some information that might be helpful if you are reaching out for our services. So we have one thing that I like to tell people right off the bat is anything that you say to us is confidential, with the exception of like any type of child abuse or like terroristic threats. We might have to report if that comes up, which we would talk about. We would never want to put you in a situation where you feel like we're going to give out your information without your permission or knowledge. So even if those two things came up, we would absolutely tell you. I know a lot of our the people that we work with us who work with us meet us in court or through law enforcement, things like that. We work with them, we do not work for them. And so again, that information that you keep is confidential. Obviously, when we work with those people, we do want to share information. That way we can have a good open conversation to best help our victims, which we would talk about with you about what information do you want shared, why do you want this shared, and things like that. We work with a lot of different people, so we do not discriminate based on gender, age, race, religion, sexual orientation, any of those things. We work with everybody. As well as, I think a lot of people believe when they think of domestic violence programs, they think of women being abused by men. And we know that that's not always the narrative. And so we do work with men and provide them equal services. And so what are these services that we offer? Well, as you can see, community presentations are one of the services that we offer, whether that's via video chat or in person. We go to a lot of different organizations, and we can, and whether that's like a church or like law enforcement, anything like that, we go to them and we can give lots of different presentations. We do have our biggest service is probably our 24-hour crisis line. And so an advocate is available 24 hours a day, 365 days a year to answer that phone, a trained advocate. And so I know it's a crisis line, and most people think like, oh, crisis, like, oh, my house is on fire, oh, I'm being actively abused. You can always call up our crisis line, even if it's for something like you're having a flashback, you're struggling with using your coping skill, you need to talk about this thought that you just had. It is there for that. And so we do offer that service. We do have an emergency 24-hour shelter. And so frequently, if we are full, we will absolutely help you find another shelter that has openings and can offer you similar services and bring you back to the area if needed then. And that service is, it is emergency shelter, it is community-based living, but it is available, and how you would access that is just by calling our crisis line, and we could get you in touch and see if you qualify and stuff. And if you did have to call another organization for some reason, if we gave you their information, we would contact that organization ourselves and make sure that it was a right fit for you. That way you're not calling a bunch of different people and names and going through all of that while trying to figure out a plan. And so I said, I introduced myself as a domestic violence advocate. We offer domestic violence and sexual assault services. And so an advocate is somebody that can assist victims in accessing, in understanding, and participating in different legal, criminal justice, and social service programs. We also can be there to support and help give information on coping skills, safety planning, and things like that. We do offer free professional counseling, and so how you would get a hold of that is all you'd have to do is let an advocate know that you were interested, and we would again see if you qualify for services and see if you what would fit. We do offer support group services. Right now they are online. If not, they are in person in each of our 7 counties. And we could get you in contact with that county support group and see if you want to join us. We go over a lot of different topics. I think before I started working here at the Avalon Center, I had an idea of support groups were like everybody sitting in a circle. Somebody would stand up and they would go, "Hi, my name is Bob. I'm a victim of domestic violence and sexual assault." And then they'd sit down and we would just do that in a circle. And that's not what it's like. It can be, you can come. Some people come and they never talk, and that's okay. You don't have to say your name. You don't have to explain why you're there. Participating looks different for everybody. Sometimes that's just listening, and that's okay. We're never going to call you out or anything like that. And we focus on a lot of different topics, including self-care, self-esteem, boundaries, and things like that. So it's not just always talking about violence. And at any point, you can always get up and leave. You're not trapped there for the amount of time. If you needed to, people do take breaks and step out and things like that. We do offer a child and youth program and a parenting program, and those really go hand in hand. And so what our children's program is a trained children's advocate, works one-on-one with kids to address any type of fear, trauma symptoms, and guilt associated with being a victim or witnessing domestic violence or sexual assault. And the parenting program goes hand in hand with that, because whereas we can help, maybe work with children on learning different coping skills and things like that. We know that our parents are with the children primarily, and so they can help teach the parent ways to help the child cope and kind of give them an idea of what they're going through. We do offer a free legal advice day for victims. And so let's say you're married and you don't know what to do as far as even filing for divorce or looking into that, or you know that you're going to need child support if you ever try to leave this person. That is something that could assist, as well as like if there's elder abuse, elder law, if there's mental health issues, things like that. It's always good to see if that is an option for you. As well as, of course, if you have an order of protection, they can meet with you before court and give you actual legal advice. Whereas, with an advocate, we can say this is what this process looks like. Our attorney on staff can actually help you start. They can actually help you, like say, oh, you're looking for this outcome, you need to take steps 1, 2, and 3, and it's very more personalized. We do offer some emergency financial assistance, as well as like if you needed something like food, clothing, things like that, toiletries, and that is on a case-by-case basis. What you would need to do is reach out to one of our advocates. Again, that can be over our 24-hour crisis line, and they would do a financial assessment with you and see about getting you those things. We do offer a transitional housing program that is available to our shelter clients at this time. And so that is a program that can actually assist you potentially with with rent and utility assistance for a while. And so if you have any questions about our services, please feel free to reach out to us. Just in case I did not say these things, so I might be repeating myself. We work with victims of domestic violence and sexual assault, we also work with those who are affected by it. And so if you are the partner of somebody who's been through that, if you are the family member, if you're the best friend, supporting people who've been through that can be very emotionally draining. Lots of times it can result in experiencing symptoms of trauma yourself. So these services are also available to y'all. And all of our services are 100% free. And again, the same confidentiality applies. So we would never tell anybody, like if you walked in with them, we would never even act like we knew you. And so we want to support everybody involved. And our services are not just for those who are leaving domestic violence. We want to work with everybody, like I said. So we know lots of victims stay for a lot of really good reasons. And so we also work with y'all. We often talk about, leaving and things like that, but many people stay in those relationships, and we are absolutely aware of that. And so do not feel like that is something that we're going to try to pressure you in. We want you to have all the knowledge and access that any other victim would have. But yeah, if you have any questions about our services, if you feel like maybe this has clarified some of the doubts you've had, or that you might qualify for services, you can always reach out here. Our crisis line number that I've mentioned quite a few times is 1-800-641-3434. Our office number, which is not, it's got somebody answering it Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Central Time, is 931-456-0747. We also do have Facebook Messenger, which you can reach out to us on, as well as a text-to-talk line. So we are here to support you, whatever that looks like. But yeah, I hope to hear from y'all soon. And if you have any questions or comments, or if you want to see, if you have any ideas or requests for what our next support group should be, please post those down below. Alrighty then. Well, I hope y'all have a good day.